One guy who didn't want to be in Cleveland, and there's no problem too big that the Browns won't throw money at it, Myles Garrett. When he said he wants out, and that happened in February, Super Bowl week, very well timed push by Myles Garrett to get out of Cleveland. Wants out, definitely want out, wants to play for a winner, pursue championships, all that stuff. Hey, how about $40 million per year? Okay. That was good enough to get him to stay. And now, 8 weeks into the 2025 season, he don't want to be there. Well, he didn't come out and say it, but when you have a career-high 5 sacks and your team gets otherwise beaten down by the Patriots, that creates frustrations. So, and this is no like discovered plutonium by accident. Like, the Browns should have explored trading him, and they should have done it when he wanted out. The Browns have been obsessed with analytics for a decade now. If you rip the jersey or rip the name off the back of the jersey or the jersey off the back of the name of Myles Garrett, and you view his contract as an asset and you objectively look at where he is right now in his career, by the time the Browns turn this thing around, he's going to be past his prime. And then you're going to be looking to squeeze him to take less to get him to choose to stay. And it just would have made more sense with a guy who wants out to give him what he wants, maximize the return, and start building toward a future. But that's all the Browns ever do. They're building toward this vague future when they're going to be better. And then when the future arrives, what are they doing? They're building toward this vague future where things are going to be better. They never get better. Yeah, they went to the playoffs in 2023 and they went in 2020, but those almost feel like accidents, not the product of any real design. And that's like, you want to be in the mix to go to the playoffs every single year. You don't want it to be, hey, everything fell together just right this year, and then next year we're going to be crap. You want to be at a certain level every year. And you want to, like every other year, 2 out of 3 years, 3 out of 4 years, every year get to the postseason. So I was kicking around the idea yesterday, and I'm sure others were too, that the Browns should maybe look at it, even though the cap charge next year is $63 million. Look, they'd find a way to work with that. They'd avoid paying this guy millions, and they would get multiple first-round picks and more for Myles Garrett. If they would dangle him right now to a contender that is looking for a pass rusher, they got the word out locally and nationally, locally to Mary Kay Cabot, nationally to Shefty, zero chance that Myles Garrett gets traded. Now, it's possible that they were willing to listen, just like the Eagles are willing to listen on A.J. Brown, but they're not going to be the ones who make the first move. And, we're this close to the trade deadline. There's no way that anyone's going to begin to put together the kind of offer that would get the Browns' attention on Myles Garrett. So Myles Garrett continues to be a member of the Cleveland Browns, and it will continue to be an issue. And he'll continue to be frustrated. And it will continue to be a distraction. But, at least he's one great player that the Browns have. Denzel Ward, and, there are others that are good, but Myles Garrett is the one that's head and shoulders above the rest. But really, if they were truly committed to the whole analytics thing, they would have traded him at the most ideal time in the offseason, especially once he wanted out, because they would have gotten a lot for him. And they could have used those picks. They're cheap players. They become part of the nucleus of your organization over the course of years as they develop and grow. And of course, they gave up 3 of those first-round picks plus to do the worst ever transaction in NFL history when they did the trade and sign of Deshaun Watson.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.